Hi guys, it's Hayden Crawford from the Dreamtime Academy, and I'm a soul guide and colour therapist and numerologist. Now, today we're going to be exploring your birth charts and revealing some truths about who you are at a soul level, looking at your day number, life path number, and personal year cycle influences. So this is a very interactive live where I'm going to be going deep into who you are, where you're from, and what you're here to do. But before we go into any of that, I just wanted to say another massive thank you to everybody who has recently subscribed to my YouTube channel. It really means the world to me, and I'm genuinely honored. That so many of you, have left so many comments recently as well on the different videos and interviews that I've done with Cosmic Conversations. I know that some of them have been somewhat controversial, but the reason why I go into exploring all aspects of our galactic family really is to give you an overall perspective on everything so that you don't sort of miss anything. So we've got to remember as well when we're moving through any form of fresh information that you use your own discernment and anchor your own truths, because you'll feel that within your heart. I've had some amazing conversations over the last couple of weeks, actually, and specifically last week as well. I have interacted with some really cool people, like first and foremost, Jill Jackson, author of The Children of the New Earth. Amazing lady. I had a really long chat with her about the next generation of, a wave of galactics coming in and what they're here to do, such as the golden rays and the diamond rays, which blew my mind. Obviously, you've probably remember my last interview with Vivian Chauvet as well. She is the Arcturian hybrid. Had another conversation with her last week as well, which went really deep. So can't wait to publish that. And this morning I was speaking to Cara Goodwin from Beyond Soul, and actually that was a brilliant interview she actually did with me, asking me questions about numerology, color therapy, cosmic consciousness, and the work that I do. So that's going to be interesting. And I'm going to interview her in about 2 or 3 weeks' time on my channel as well. So to find out more about her amazing new book, which is all about authentic awakening. So that's going to be fantastic as well. So really some interesting conversations. Obviously, I've just published the Britt Elders Cosmic Conversation as well this morning. And she is a wealth of information. She's a UFO researcher, has been for years now. And she's actually just written a book on the Phoenix Lights and how it impacted the different people that saw it and interconnected them all as well. But she talks about, contact and consciousness and where the boundaries are being blurred between the two at the moment. So that is an exceptionally important episode to watch. You'll notice that I just uploaded that this morning, because it will give you some really, sort of information from not only a spiritual perspective, but also a scientific perspective as well, because she's been, really delving deeply into the Billy Meyer case for many, many years. And I think that is, it just brought in so much really strong evidence-based exercises and ways of which exploring that whole phenomena. So well worth exploring too. Next week I'm actually going to be interviewing Sheila Sappi, and she works very closely with Ken Lloyd, who is the walk-in. Actually, he's a light language transmitter, channeling the omnipresence, which blows your mind. Actually had some instant healing with Ken Lloyd, which was amazing, absolutely amazing. So it actually has got rid of my mucus, which I think I've spoken about several different times on 7 different occasions, but it's still not there. So that just shows you how powerful his work is. And he often pairs up with Sheila Sappi because she's quite a similar channeler to him and light language transmitter. So they work really well together. So Sheila Sappi is coming up, having a cosmic conversation next week. And of course, you will probably remember as well earlier on this week that we had a really great conversation as well with the beautiful Liz Clark as well, and yesterday with Dr. Gale as well, for the Cosmic Conversations, the Numerology Show live streams. So that's every single week at the moment. Next week is Joy Woodward. She is an amazingly popular and very professional and successful numerologist in America. And she has written several books on, well, I think she's in the process of writing a second book on numerology, Joy Woodward. So she's going to be joining us next Friday at 9 o'clock Perth Western Standard Time as well, and followed by River Culver next week on 13 Star Astrology. So how much good stuff is that there for you guys? You must be thrilled to bits with the amount of content that's being created through this channel at the moment. I know I am certainly enjoying it a lot. All right, so if you are watching me live today, then make sure you introduce yourself. Let me know whereabouts in the world that you're watching from, and I will do the rest. So I'm looking at your day number, your life path number, and your personal year cycle influences today during the live to reveal more about your true soul purpose, your strengths and weaknesses, the best times for you to embark on new projects and ventures, and even your starry origins as well. So alongside of all that, I'm also going to be using the Cosmic Family Oracle cards during today's live, just to add in an extra layer of information. And this is a beautiful deck of cards, which I created myself and launched 6 months ago, featuring 7 different galactic races, archangels, and ascended masters. So I'll be also tapping into the Cosmic Family Oracle cards as we move through today's live, just to kind of add in an extra layer of information for you so that you can really go quite deep into everything else as well. So that is something that we're going to be using during the live. Now, I always like to pick out a card for the collective. All right, so this is right at the beginning of today's live, and I always like to pick a card up that's meaningful for anybody who's either watching me live now or watching the replay. Okay. So let's see. And we have got, how interesting, the Pleiadian empath, Taygita and Tauri. So you can see the 2 identical twins. You know, we often find that identical twins are telepathic. And I think as a collective, we're all becoming more like that, not only with brothers and sisters or identical twins or whatever, because not many of us have got those, but also with, you know, our neighbors and, you know, the people that, you know, that we may not even know. We're all starting to tap into the quantum field, which gives us access to be able to you know, become more telepathic. You know, you might just have an instant connection with somebody, be able to almost read their mind. And I think that, you know, as you know, we can see Uranus has gone into Gemini, and of course that's all about future technology and future communication, and how really contact consciousness and artificial intelligence are all converging at a bit of a nexus point right now as well. So I think that we are going to be seeing a massive upgrade in the way that we're communicating with each other, because I think that we're starting to realize as well how, you know, some people, you know, are communicating information authentically and others aren't. And you can, you know, it's almost like getting to that place within your own heart where you can discern information, whether it's going to be beneficial, detrimental, whether it's going to be truthful, or whether it's just a whole lot of gobbledygook, you know. So it's this sort of thing that I think we're all going through right now. We're starting to have greater awareness and discernment of truths and untruths. So that's a really powerful message, isn't it, to start today's live off. Now, the purpose of today's live really is to explore you and your true soul purpose through your date of birth, so through your birth chart. So I like delving deep into birth charts to be able to extract information about not only what your purpose is and your gifts and potential, but also, you know, any past life implications or karmic lessons, and of course your galactic origins as well. So I kind of specialize in that whole process of delving deep into, you know, the soul template, I suppose, is a great way to state it. And actually, one of the things that I like to do is create what are called Starseed Numerology reports, which is a 22-page document which will go into all aspects of you and your birth chart, your name chart, the major influences in your astrology, and it actually reveals not only your true soul purpose, but your strengths and weaknesses, your galactic origins, So whether you're from Andromeda, Arcturus, Lyra, Sirius, the Pleiades, or Orion, or Alpha Centauri, or Antares, or one of a plethora of other constellations and galaxies out there, which helps you to define your mission. Also, the reports are brilliant because they go into any relevant, significant past lives or parallel lives that may be impacting on your current life experience, any karmic lessons, and they're very predictive of your future as well. So these are an incredibly valuable source of information, which helps give you all the answers without, you necessarily always having to, to sort of try and figure it out on your own. So those are ultimately something that you can get on a special offer today as well for only 59 Australian dollars. And there's a link in the description to be able to claim that, if you're really keen on going deeper after we've done the live free insights. Okay, so during the live, I like free insights for people, and what you whistle, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. So giving you information based on your day number, which reveals the truth of who you are, your life path number, which really reveals your true soul purpose, and your personal year cycle influence that you're in as well. So, whether that's a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, whatever it is. And then I like to give you that information just to sort of process, see how it feels, see if it resonates. How are you feeling that information within your body, within your mind, within your soul, and often that transference of information can create all sorts of awakenings and downloads and transfers as well. So yeah, if you are watching today's live and you'd like me to explore your birth chart or a birth chart of somebody that you love in your life, maybe it's your husband or wife or your son or your daughter, then just drop their date of birth into the chat. Let me know whereabouts, obviously, in the world that you're watching from, and I'll do the rest. All right. So we're going to start off then today with SSW 936. Nice to see you. Wonderful. So you got your Starseed report a couple of weeks ago, did a quick review. Looking forward to have it printed soon so I can savor it. And that's Sylvia. Beautiful. I remember Sylvia. Yes. Yeah. So did it resonate with you, the full Starseed numerology report? Hopefully it did. They're amazing, aren't they? They really do start unlocking certain aspects of yourself. And then of course, when you get this wisdom, it's then, okay, so how do I then implement it? And that's why, a lot of the follow-up work that I do is actually, Sylvia, with an Oversoul Codex realignment session. So that is this here. So it's actually it's done via StreamYard, a recording that gets sent through to you. And they're amazing, actually, because they go deeper into the report, help you to figure out ways that you can integrate and anchor, that, because that's where, you see progression and evolution. I use your human design as well as your astrology and your numerology within the Oversoul Codex realignment sessions. And the 90-minute sort of session one-on-one, where we look at doing an activation for you, to help you move forward and through any obstacles or challenges that you're overcoming or going through right now, and also Socratic questions as well, which help you find your own answers from within instead of me giving you all the answers. So they are they're a very powerful source of information. So in a typical 90-minute one-on-one Zoom session, it's actually designed to help you gain clarity on what is currently unfolding in your life, emotionally, energetically, and spiritually, and what your next aligned step truly is. And that's using the color mirrors, which you can see behind me, this beautiful sequence of dual colored oil bottles. So you'll be selecting from the bottles with response to questions that I ask you, like, where you're at in your life right now, where do you want to be, what action steps do you need to take to be able to get there, and what your highest potential is over the next 5 years. So then I read the bottles as a collective and individually, and I also weave in your astrological information as well, and your human design. And I tailor the sessions specifically for you, because no two people need the same thing at the same time. Everybody requires something very, very different. So the sessions are very good at helping you go much deeper, and they also help you to process, integrate, and anchor the information that's in the report as well. So Wonderful. So you liked the report then, did you, Sylvia? Thank you for saying that. That's wonderful. Good. Now then, if you are watching and you'd like some insights with me today, then remember to drop your date of birth in the chat as well. And because we've done Sylvia's already, haven't we, Sylvia? We did some insights for you prior to today. I think we've done some. I think I did some insights with you, didn't we? In another live, Sylvia. I can't fully remember now. But yeah, there you go. Oh, that's a good question. So Sylvia says, what can you tell me about people who don't have karmic numbers in their charts? None of my 3 children or their father have them. Well, that's a good thing. Yeah, so it's a good thing. If you don't have a karmic number in your chart in any sense, then it may be that there's nothing that needs rebalancing. It's just as simple as that, really. Remember, karma isn't a punishment. It's more of a lesson to be learned. So yeah, I do a lot of charts for people that don't have karmic imprints in them. So I feel that they're just lucky, basically, because it's life always isn't going to be as complicated if there's no karma to resolve. Yeah. So hello, Huna Rose, nice to see you. How are you today? Welcome back. And it's nice to have you here. Well, we're actually going to be exploring your birth charts in a bit more detail today. But also, I wanted to just tell you a little bit more about my book as well, because the book that I wrote, and this was how long ago now? I launched this about a year ago. It's called the Starseed Ascension Guide, and it's there. This is my book. It's available on Amazon, and it actually is for people who are going through a bit of a cathartic journey on their own awakening process and starting to remember, who they are, where they're from, and what they're here to do, but trying to integrate and anchor and ground the light into their current human experience, because I think it's very important for us not to disassociate from the earth. We've got to be able to sort of bring that galactic wisdom and purpose into the 3D. So it really is a process of helping you to understand and identify where the traumas are in your life, either generational or past life, or stuff that's happened in this life, and to let go of that. But also, how to awaken your soul purpose. And that's through not only numerology, color therapy, and other modalities, but, that's a very important part of you feeling fulfilled in your life. And then to reconnect eventually with your cosmic family. So it takes you through a bit of a journey of, the spectrum of colors, and actually go through my own personal journey. So it's a bit like an autobiography, I suppose, detailing how and what lessons I went through in each of the colors within our spectrum, our visible spectrum, at least. Yeah, so that's a great book if you wanted to go a bit deeper and read about how it all interlinks together, colors, numbers, cosmic consciousness, the whole gamut, really. So yeah, if you like what I do and you want to sort of explore that even deeper, then the book is a really valuable source of information, and I think you would enjoy it. There you go. So you've had a headache and a migraine all day, have you? Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wonder what's caused that. Have you got any ideas what's caused it? Must be a bit painful, is it? Yeah. Awful. I hate getting a headache. Whenever I get one, I always get a migraine afterwards. So I sort of go blind in one eye and have to go and lie down in a different room until I start feeling a bit better again. Yeah. Maybe you should do that. Maybe just go and have a bit of a lie down. Give yourself a bit of space. Give yourself permission, just to rest and not do anything. Sometimes that's all we need to do, isn't it? So there you go. Hopefully that this is giving you lots of information that you're finding valuable. Now the other thing as well is that I also not only have my Starseed Ascension guide, but also the Cosmic Family Oracle cards as well that you can see there. So this is the deck of cards that we're using today. So it features 7 different galactic races, archangels, and ascended masters as well. So they are they feature 7 different galactic races, archangels, and ascended masters. So I'm going to be using these cards sporadically as well during today's live, just to add in some extra information for you. And but fundamentally what we're looking at is your birth charts. So if you'd like a reading with me today, and you've just joined me live and you've never had a reading with me before, then remember to drop your date of birth into the chat. Let me know whereabouts in the world that you're watching from, and I will do the rest. So I'm looking at your day number, your life path number, and your personal year cycle influences as we move through today's live. So, oh, there you go. So you've got no idea what's causing it. Arrested at 10 a.m. Well, good for you. I'm pleased to hear that, because sometimes, you know, you have to just do it instead of thinking about it. You just got to do it, don't you? And honor your own needs first. I think a lot of us forget that, really, don't we? Yeah. There you go. And thank you for that. Yeah, no, that's very great to hear. Thank you. Huna Rose says, if you'd like a numerology reading, post your first name, country, and your birthday in the format of day, month. Yeah. That's great. Thank you for being my my administrator today. I do appreciate that. That's so kind and sweet of you as well. And it's Nora. Your name was on the tip of my tongue, Nora. Sorry. It's just sometimes I'm get bombarded by so many people sort of coming into my lives, either on TikTok or on YouTube, that, you know, sort of like sometimes I can anchor and remember the name, and other times I can't. But it was on the tip of my tongue. But I think I will remember now moving forward. So so that's great. So I was saying earlier on, before everybody came into the chat, actually, how I've just met the most amazing people for Cosmic Conversations over the last week. And one of those was a lovely lady this morning called Cara Goodwin, and she's got a podcast called Beyond Soul, and it was a really interesting chat that she was interviewing me on her show, and she was asking all about, you know, the wisdom of numerology and color therapy and how it all combines. And she asked some really intelligent questions. I was really impressed with her. So make sure you follow her as well. And, you know, eventually, whenever she uploads the interview, I think you'll find it fascinating, because she really got the best out of me. So we're going to have a look at Beach Angel then in Orlando in Florida. Nice to see you, Beach Angel. And you're born on the 31st of January, 1971 in Orlando in Florida. And it's Jennifer. Nice to meet you, Jennifer. You're welcome. No, you're very, very welcome. There you go. Ah, thank you. No, that's so sweet. That's it. You know, I'm busy, and it costs you nothing. No, apart from your time. That's it. Oh, all right then. So, Jennifer, I'm going to explore you next on the live. So Jennifer is born on the 31st of January, 1971. Perfect. So you got the day number 4. You've got a life path number 9, 10, 17, 18, 19, 23 as a 5. And then your year is a 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're in your personal year 6. That's a bit of a deformed 6 I've just written. So you got the 3, you got the 1, 2, 3, 4 ones there as well. Okay. It is exciting, isn't it, Jennifer? It is. You know, the first time I ever had my numerology done, it blew me away. It actually changed my life. It really did. You know, it changed me completely, because it helped me to understand that I was actually off track in the job that I was doing. I'd had a career in IT recruitment for 15 years, and I always felt like I was living someone else's life. So when I discovered my life path number as a 9, that I'm here to be of service and to help people, I just was like, okay, well, I'll do that and see if I'm any happier. And it's like, it's just changed everything. Yeah. So we're going to explore yours as well now. So hello to Cosmo Girl 3 as well. It's lovely to have you back again. How are you going? You all right? Did you leave a comment in one of my live streams and it never came through? What was that? Let us know. I'd be interested to find out. And the Oracle of the Mermaid. God, it has been a while. It must be since COVID that I haven't spoken to you. You used to come into my lives all the time, wasn't it, during the COVID pandemic? Yeah, well, it's lovely to have you back here again. It really is. Well, welcome. You're all very welcome. There you go. You can't remember what you were talking about, but it was a long comment and it disappeared. Ah, you know, it's awful when that happens, isn't it? Because you're just like, Why, I've just spent all that time writing a comment, and you're like, oh, the universe obviously doesn't want me to put that into the chat for some unknown reason. Okay, so we digress, don't we? We digress. But first of all, what I can say for you, Jennifer, is you're actually hypersensitive. So when you've got no 2, 5, and 8 in your birth chart, like, this is known as the arrow of hypersensitivity. So it means that you've got a bit of a weak soul protection. So you get very easily hurt by people. So just the little throwaway comments that people make, can sometimes deeply upset you. So, someone could say something like, oh, Jennifer, you look really tired today. And you'd be like, oh my God, what do they mean? I look really tired and ugly. And then you were like, wait a minute, dead to me. It's this sort of thing. So you are hypersensitive. So it's actually a weak soul protection. So yeah, that's why you get sort of really, really easily hurt. Now, the other thing is you've got the arrow of frustration in your birth chart as well. So I'm sort of going to do a bit of a, like, these are your negative attributes thing first before you look at your positive stuff. And the arrow of frustration, the lack of the 4, 5, and 6, just means that there was difficulties for you during childhood. So it could have been like your parents separated, maybe one of the parents crossed when you were younger, or there was sibling rivalry, or maybe you just felt like you didn't fit in. I actually find a lot of starseeds have this arrow because we don't fit in, do we? Let's face it, we don't. You might think you do, but you don't. So, we come in from higher dimensions of consciousness, anything up to the 12th. And then we incarnate on the 3rd dimension, which is the earth. And we're like, oh my God, what is this place? You've got taxes, government, war, you've got money, you've got the eggplant emoji as well. And so it's all just a bit much. So you know what I'm talking about, yeah? It is, isn't it? So hypersensitive, difficulties during childhood as well. So this has kind of led you into a place where sometimes, as you're a 31/4 as your day number, you might become a bit of a hermit. I find that a lot with 31s. Yeah, you might sort of retreat away from the madding crowds a little bit. So you had your awakening at 11 years old too, did you? Ah, well, there you go then. That's very early to have an awakening, isn't it? 11. What happened? Be interested to find out. There you go. Oh, hello to Missa 5232 as well. It's nice to see you back again as well. Glad you've caught another live. There you go. Everything's aligning for you then, is it? It's like the universe is aligning to help you to get in here. There you go. There you go. So very much a hermit. Yeah, it's interesting, because for you, you've got the 4-5 combination. We were talking about this on the Numerology Show live stream the other day. Whenever your day number and your life path number are right next to each other, it can create a little bit of a challenging influence, I suppose, into your personality blueprint. And this is like, sometimes it can create chaos in your life, especially the 4-5, because the 4 is your day number. It's very practical, very routine, traditional, good with business. It's very much a fixed and rigid number, really. It's a very traditional, organizational, material, so a lot of 4s are very good with business, and they're very practical people, very organized as well. But the 5 is kind of the opposite of that. The 5s want freedom from restriction. So there's part of you that sort of likes head down, bum up, working hard, and this great depth of practicality and tradition that you've got. But the 5 is almost wants to just jump on a plane and head off and go and explore the world. So 5s are the freedom seekers and the travelers, the explorers. The 4s prefer to have something that's a little bit more controlled and mainstream and this. So it's an interesting one. There you go. Did you like that one? Did you? Oracle of the Mermaid. It is though, isn't it? I mean, it's all too much whenever you see that. It's not right. So, you learned your Pleiadian, did you, Nora? Yeah, wonderful. There you go then. So you're connecting up with that. And, there you go. Jennifer goes, it's spot on so far. It's an interesting one, isn't it? So if we look at, the other influences that you've got, you've the fives really are freedom seekers, so it means you feel things very intensely. The 5 is the center of the emotional plane. So if we look at the 5 in color form, bottle number 5 is called Mercury, and it's this beautiful emerald green bottle. So green in color therapy, is part of your soul colors, and it's all about space. So it's like your soul needs space. You've got to set healthy boundaries, and you've got this driving intensity of feeling. So I often find that with 5s, you're very good at emulating other people. So you can surround yourself with people at the top of their game, and you'll become like them very, very quickly. If you surround yourself with people living in their shadow, or negatrons, as I call them, you may find that you become like them. So you've got to be very careful with the company that you choose to keep. That's probably why you become a bit of a hermit, because you'll emulate them. So you're also somebody who needs to, when you do socialize, make sure that you've got people around you that allow you to just be you and to express yourself freely. And it's important as you move through your life to learn to let go of old identities, old, sort of aspects of self that no longer serve you. And, actually for the 5s, if you hide away from life too much and you become too much of a hermit for too much of your life, that's when it might become quite difficult for you. So you've really got to go, okay, so I've got to have a bit of a balance there between staying in and going out. Yeah. Now, you're in your personal year 6 this year, which means that it is a year of, the 6 relates to the planet Venus, which is the planet of love. This beautiful pink ray here, this is bottle 6, Venus. So Venus kind of shines her light all the way through your year this year, which is a lovely thing because it can bring up new opportunities for love. So if you're not in a relationship, it could present opportunities there. If you are, then maybe not, unless you want a throuple. But no, it's about redecoration. It's about spending time at home with the family, beautifying your environment, and spending quality time at home with the family, maybe doing some creative projects. Also, it's about self-love and self-care, and giving yourself that motherly nurturing energy as well this year is going to be important. Now, you'll see here as well that you've got these four isolated numbers. You've got 4 ones that are isolated. So this can bring up challenges with verbal self-expression and expressing how you feel. Because remember what I was saying, you're hypersensitive. Sometimes it's quite hard for you to be able to find a way of being able to verbalize those things. So you might be more of an observer, or a bit of a shrinking violet, rather than wanting to be the center of attention. It's interesting though, because, 5, Mercury, is all about communication. So, maybe you need to work through some of those things, because if you don't, it might create an imbalance within your thyroid gland. It could become overactive or underactive, or become hyperthyroidism, or any of that sort of shenanigans, really. The isolated 7 can bring in sacrifice in your life in either one of these 3 things. So either love, health, or money. So one of those 3 things may become a bit of a pattern of loss as you move through your life. So you may love and lose, love and keep, for example. Or you might make money and then lose it all, or it could be the health thing. So the isolated 9 gives you great ambition and idealism. And the isolated 3 can mean your imagination runs away with you sometimes. So I'll pick a card out for you from the Cosmic Family Oracle cards, but I'm just going to show you your soul colors, from the 4, which is Uranus, bottle 4, and then the 5, which is Mercury. So you can see there that your soul colors are very much on the yellow-green spectrum, aren't they? So I often find that this can bring in past lives, either as in ancient Greece, or Grecian, or even as a Cathar. And the Cathars, were the alchemists that were sort of wiped out during the 14th and 16th century. So it can mean it makes you fall into patterns in this life of giving your power away. So you just have to observe that and see if you're doing that. And if you are, stop doing it, basically. But I'll pick a card out for you from the Cosmic Family Oracle cards. And you've got the Syrian healer, Esther, who's come up for you today. Syrian healer, card number 9, Esther, which is all about healing childhood trauma or abuse. So if you have been through a challenge or trial, trial of fire, I like to call it, during your earlier years. Maybe it's time to re-explore, looking at those wounds again and seeing if you can see them from a different perspective, and so that you can release them. Yeah. So there you go. So Jennifer says, I was suppressed as a child. I'm working on reparenting myself and self-care, and you are a dreamer. Yes. Yeah. I thought you would relate to that. It's interesting, isn't it, how it works? So Cosmo Girl goes, Hayden, know how to read birth charts. I tried and I don't understand it. I know you had stated it tells you what planet that you're from, where we came from. Yeah, it does. Well, the reports that I create, the Starseed Numerology reports, do that, Cosmo Girl. And that's, sorry, not that one there. So the reports I create, they explore your birth chart and your name chart and the major influences in your astrology, like your sun, your moon, your north node, and your ascendant, your soul color influences and how that's impacting on your life experience. But they also go into, unveiling your galactic origins. So where your soul has actually incarnated from after leaving source consciousness, and other planetary systems that you may have incarnated into as well, not necessarily originated from. Any past life implications and karmic lessons, and of course your true soul purpose and your personality blueprint, but also they're very predictive of your future because I look at your pyramids. So the way I do it is using Pythagorean numerology. So yeah, the reports are a great asset to help you to really, anchor your light on the planet. And yeah, so if you'd like one of those creating for you, Cosmo Girl or Jennifer, then there's a link in the description where you can claim that today on the special offer for only 59 Australian dollars, which is about 40 US dollars with the current exchange rate. And you'll be taken through to a landing page, where you can enter all your birth details, like your day, your time, your place of birth, and the name that you prefer to use. And yeah, then that gets emailed through to you on completion in about 3 to 5 business days, because they're handcrafted reports. They're not computer generated or AI. I'm a bit old school like that, really. So I like to do things properly. So yeah, and that's for anybody who's watching the live, that's interested in exploring a bit more deeply. Today during the live, I'm kind of just wetting your whistle. I'm just really giving you some insights based around your day number, your life path number, and your personal year cycle influences, just to wet your whistle. But the reports obviously are 22 pages of tailor-made information all about you. So hello to Sisbian. It's nice to see you back again. There you go. There, that's it. And it's interesting because we were just looking at another 4-5 today with Jennifer, and I know you've got that same combination as well, haven't you, in your birth chart? There you go. Ah, wonderful. So there you go. So Christine Buckingham, you're next up on today's live. We'll explore your birth chart next. Born on the 9th of March, 1958. Wonderful. Brilliant. It's nice to meet you. You're in the US. Which part of the USA are you watching from? Hello again to Secretly Serious. It's lovely to see you back again. How are you today? You all right? There you go. Oh. Oh, thank you, Sisbian. That's nice. You say, I do like listening to you. There is a quiet happiness and optimism in you, lilt. I'll take that as a compliment. There you go. That you're very welcome. Very welcome, Jennifer. Yeah. There you go. So Jennifer, yeah, the reports, no, they're not mailed in print form. It would cost too much to do it that way, especially postal charges. To the USA. So they're created and they're sent through via email as a PDF document that you can then print at home or, in Office Works or wherever you go to get your printing done. So you're in New Jersey, are you, Christine? Brilliant. Ah, okie dokie then. Let's have a explore. Now, if you're watching and you'd like me to do your birth chart as well, I'm doing free insights today. So feel free to just drop your date of birth into the chat and you could be next up after Christine. So if you've never had a reading with me before, it's probably a good time to get your birth date into the chat, because then I'm just going to go through people systematically based around, who's put their date of birth in first. So Christine's next in line. And so, if you'd like a reading, then make sure you drop your date of birth and you'll get your reading after Christine nice and quickly, okay? Okay, so Christine, born on the 9th of March, 1958. So you've got a day number 9, you've got a life path number 9, 10, 18, 19, 23, 26, 35 as an 8. So you've got the 8, 9. Like we've just seen with Jennifer, she had the 4, 5. You've got the 8, 9. So again, whenever we get the two numbers side by side, that can create a slightly more challenging sort of personality blueprint and purpose as well. So I'll explain what I mean in just a second, Christine. So you've got the 2 9s, you've got an 8, you've got a 5, you've got a 3, and a 1. And okay, so then you're in a 9, 10, 14, 13, rather, there's a 4. So this is what your chart looks like there, Christine. You can see that, okay? So what we can see there, we'll start with your life, your day number 9. So the 9 is really who you are. It's like your gifts. So you're a healer, a counselor. You could be a nurse or a social worker. So you're here to be of service, and you're like a wise humanitarian. So if you think about the 9, the number 9, it carries all the information of the numbers that go before it. So, you've got the big circle, then you've got the little tail. So it's like a big head with a little body and all that wisdom. So for many 9s, they carry a lot of wisdom as well. So it's, most likely, definitely not your first incarnation. So you've come to the earth with a great depth of wisdom, but you want to help people. So you want, as part of your soul purpose, but also what brings you fulfillment is to be of service. So the 9 is your day number, but your life path number is an 8. So Christine, the 8 is almost like you've got one foot planted in both worlds. The 9, which is really here to be of service, and the 8 is more about business management, so either man management, money management, project management. So it's like that you like being in control and you're very independent. So having both, it's almost like saying that if you have gone into the corporate world or worked within a corporate environment as a manager of some sort, then you needed to have done something that was benefiting other people. And that's a great way to sort of balance those two numbers. So, like I'm a 9, my husband's an 8. So I do the humanitarian stuff and he does, looks after everything else, like the banking and finances and stuff. So often I find, Christine, with people with an 8, they can make good accountants. They can be very good at giving other people financial advice and guidance, but they sometimes don't take, that advice and guidance themselves. Yeah. So you can see there that you've got, on top of all of that, you've got the arrow of determination running through your birth chart, which is a real strength. The 1, 5, and 9. It means that you can be very persistent in life to achieve your goals. So you won't start projects and stop them. You'll kind of see them all the way through. So this is a real strength. It's almost like being quite stubborn in the pursuit of your goals. And of course, you've got the 8 in there, obviously, which gives you that independence, that sense of wanting to do things properly. 8s are very methodical in the way they do things. And, it's great to see. And there's also a lovely nurturing aspect to it. You've got a vivid imagination as well. I would also say that you may struggle to express your own feelings as well. So you've got to learn the art of wise assertiveness when you've only got the 1, 1 within your birth chart. The reason why I'm saying that is because the 9 relates to this bottle here in the color mirrors, which is called Mars. So it's red over orange and it's fire energy. So that fire elemental really needs to be expressed within you, Christine, instead of being suppressed. So I've got a life path number 9. So I understand this number really well. It's like you've got to learn to speak up about how you feel instead of bottling things up and being meek and mild and then getting all angry and frustrated afterwards, So, but the 8 is Saturn, which is lilac over violet. So Saturn is old father time. So it means that you like to build your future on solid foundations. So you'll kind of like build your house on the rocks rather, where it will stay up, not on the sand where it'll fall down. So these are your soul colors. You've got the red and the orange and then the violet. So quite striking together, but really it's like the crown over the base, heaven and earth. So I often find people with the red and the violet soul colors like you, is that you may need to release judgments about your life as not being perfect. Yeah. So that it's not already heaven on earth. So the 8 actually does carry a keen sense of judgment. So you can be quite judgmental of yourself or, others maybe sometimes as well. But this can often bring in, when you've got the 8 dominant within your birth chart, past lives or parallel lives as high initiations within the Roman Catholic Church. So you may feel sometimes that if you step away from mainstream religious protocols or disciplines or teachings, that you're in some way some sort of sinner, and there's that old guilt stuff that might come up through you, and judgments on self. Yeah. So this year you're in your personal year 4, Christine. So the 4 is an interesting year because it is a trough year of consolidation. So in numerology, we go through these 9-year cycles. We go through peaks and troughs. So 4 is like on a trough year. So it can feel like it's not moving forward as quickly as you want it to. So, it's good for building solid foundations in your life or your body, your business. It's good for all of that. It's good for recuperation as well, if there's been stuff wrong with you physically as well. So, it can metaphorically feel like you're wading through treacle, Christine, a little bit sometimes within your personal year 4. All right. So leave us a few comments and let us know if that's connected with you. Hopefully it has. I'd be interested to get your input. And hello to Tim. Nice to see you. We'll have a look at doing you next, Tim, should we? Yeah. You may have a reading. Thank you. Thank you for being so polite and asking so nicely. Of course you can. There you go. And Christine says, that makes sense. My astro chart is mostly water. Aha. There you go then. How interesting. Mine's mostly air, Christine. Yeah, so I've got like Libra everywhere and Aquarius and Gemini, but hardly any Earth. There you go. And your card has come up as the Andromedan Empath, Alpharats, the Andromedan Empath. So, what her message is for you is that you need to maybe protect yourself from energy vampires. So, like sometimes when you're surrounded by people, you can feel really drained and you're like, well, I don't even know why. And so you're like, oh, you feel exhausted. And it might be that they are either consciously or subconsciously affecting your electromagnetic system around your body, because maybe, they're in victimhood, or they're stuck in their own sort of karmic loops or, narratives. So when this card comes up, I'm often tempted to say to the person, imagine, bubbling yourself up. So putting yourself in a big purple or white bubble or gold bubble or an orb, and just see that as kind of keeping your energetics, at their highest frequency level and not impacted by other people's thought forms or intentions and anything like that. So yeah, protecting yourself from energy vampires is a good option for you. Okay. There you go. Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm glad that that's connected with you, Christine. Remember, if you like the full report, then just click the link in the description, claim your special offer, and that obviously will go so much deeper into all of that for you as well. Okay, so we're going to have a look at Tim next. Tim's born on the 19th of April, 1964. Beautiful. And you're in Jacksonville in Florida. Beautiful. So you've got a day number 10. You've got a life path number 9, 10, 16, 24, 34. It's a 7. So then you're in a year 9, 10, 14, 15 is a 6. So you've got 2 9s, a 6, 2 4s, and 2 1s. I think I've got all your numbers there. Let's just double check. Yeah. There you go. Ah. There you go. There you go. Hello to Floridans. Is that Floridans is people from Florida, is it? Yeah. So there you go. You're all having a separate conversation about blood types, are you? You wanting to touch upon blood types? We can do a live stream about that in another time if you like. We can go into all the different blood types and how that they are connected, to the different galactic origins. I think it would be a good subject. I might get a specialist on the subject into a live stream for them to talk to us about it. What do you think? Do you think that sounds like a good idea? There you go. And Christine says, wow, somebody told me I had an Andromedan past. That energetic part makes so much sense. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. I actually do find, Christine, that I do attract a lot of Andromedan starseeds. When I do the reports for people, I often find that about 80% of the people that are attracted to my energy, their souls have either come in from the Andromeda galaxy or the Andromeda constellation. It's like when I was doing this podcast interview this morning with Cara Goodwin. She's also an Andromedan as well. And it was just like, oh, wow, I just seem to attract other Andromedans. So I think it's part of my purpose is to help, that my cosmic family, to remember who they are. Yeah. Not always, though. Not always, but a lot of the time. So we digress. Tim. Okay, so Tim, you're also hypersensitive. Look, you've got the arrow of hypersensitivity, which is the lack of the 2, 5, and 8. So again, like I was saying before, when we were speaking to Jennifer, this means that you've got a bit of a weak soul protection. So you get very easily hurt by people. So, people could say some stuff that might not even intentionally mean anything by it, anything nasty, but, you might take it the wrong way. You might be like, oh, they're being mean and whatever else. And so you just very, it's called the arrow of hypersensitivity for a reason. So, so that's one of the arrows. The other one that you've got here is known as the arrow of the Enquirer. So this will often manifest as you needing to become a bit of a detective to be able to find evidence-based stuff. So you won't necessarily take people at face value. You need proof that people are genuine, authentic, and the information that you're receiving is being, thoroughly researched and it's real. So you can be a bit of a skeptic, initially when it comes to new concepts, ideas, or people. So you've got an interesting chart in a way as well, because you're a life path number 7 with a day number 10. So the 7 is your purpose, really. So you are a bit of a deep thinker. You're a philosopher, a mystic. You like exploring the depths of everything that lays beyond the veil. So like the mysteries, the illusions, the miracles, the magic, and the faith of life as well. So you're like really delving deeply into what lays beyond the veil. So I love the 7s. I've actually got a day number 7, Tim, myself. So it relates to the planet Neptune, which is this beautiful turquoise ball here. So Neptune is the Roman god of the sea and the king of Atlantis. So of course, a lot of 7s like you and me, we like the water elemental. So you like to live by the ocean, or wish you did, or a body of water or a river or whatever it is, So there's also this depth of need for things to be fair. So like justice and equality is super important to you as well. So you're a supporter of the underdog, You're also somebody who has to learn through your own experiences. So no one can tell you how to live your life. You're going to do it your own way. And you're very good at listening to the problems of other people, but you tend to carry your own burdens alone a little bit, So you can be quite private and secretive if you're living in the shadow of the 7. And sometimes trust issues will come up with the 7s as well. So I often find that a significant or dominant or influential past or parallel lives that come up for 7s like you are in Atlantis. So for example, I've got a day number 7. I've got very strong soul memories of my lifetimes in Atlantis. You may too. So as you move through your life, you might remember those, start remembering them. Like maybe you're drawn then to working with crystals or energy healing like Reiki or sound therapy, or you might go into psychology or psychiatry or hypnotherapy. So you like delving deeply into everything that lays beyond the veil. So you won't just scratch the surface. You'll go as deep as you possibly can. So, interesting. So, also Beach Angel, you've also been drawn to the sea and clear water as well, have you? Have you? Interesting, yeah. There you go. Oh, and another Floridian here, Ashley. Hello, nice to see you, Ashley. We can have a look at doing your birth chart next, if you like, after we've finished with Tim. Yeah, what do you think? Would you like that? I think it would be a good idea, wouldn't it, to explore your birth chart as well. But Tim, you know, you've also got a day number 10. So the 10 is the truth of who you are, really. You know, the 10 is the wheel of fortune. So this beautiful gold over olive green. And this is the way shower, the leader. There's a leader in a soft feminine way, not an ego-based leadership sort of gift that you've got. So you're a very adaptable person, you know, an adaptable leader. So ultimately, you know, you could have your own business. A lot of the 7s, you know, because they're drawn into, you know, like justice, they may even find themselves drawn into the legal services or the judiciary system as they move through their life as well. But again, for you, you know, I feel like you could have your own like mystical business because of that depth of sensitivity that you've got. You do have 2 4s in your birth chart. Now, this means that if you focus too much on the accumulation of stuff like material possessions, and you become too greedy or you become too covetous about your material possessions in your life, then later on down the track, you might risk losses. So you've got to make sure that you kind of release your detachment to the material realm as much as you can, because otherwise it might not serve you later on down the track. And of course, you know, you've got a karmic number 19 as well as your day number, which there's only 4 karmic numbers in numerology. You've got the 13, the 14, the 16, and the 19. So when you've got the 19, it means that you may have abused your power in either a past or previous incarnation, so that you might be a bit reluctant then in this life to set up your own business, because it means that, well, what if I abuse my power again? You know, that's the sort of karma of the 19 that can come up. So, you know, if I look at your soul colors together, you know, you've got the 10 and then you've got the 7. So both of these numbers are on the physical plane, and it does, you know, align with both Atlantis and ancient Egypt as well. So you're maybe one of those souls that's kind of been through both of those timelines on the earth. I do feel as well with this frequency that, you know, you are somebody, you know, because the 10 is about dominance, really, you know. So often I find a lot of 10s may have been through, you know, where others have maybe tried to project power over you. And so you can sometimes fall into patterns of giving your power away, especially because you're so hypersensitive. But you see, you're also somebody with a lot of wisdom because you've got those 2 9s. So remember, Tim, that the 9 carries the weight of the numbers that go before it. So when you've got 2 9s in your birth date, it amplifies your wisdom, your idealism, and your sense of responsibility as well. This year, you're in your personal year 6. So in your 9-year cycle, we've got Venus sort of shining her beautiful, unconditional love through your life in general and her creative inspirations. So it's brilliant for doing creative projects at home or spending really good quality time at home with the family this year as well. So, you know, this is a great year for redecoration. It could be a great year for moving house. You know, the home comes under scrutiny in your personal year 6 as well. If you're out of alignment, you may be prone to more worry or anxiety this year, or self-sabotage or addictions. But if you are living in the flow, you know, a lot of people during this year are called to either reinvent themselves or beautify their environments as well. So yeah, it's a very interesting chart. So hopefully that's connected with you. Leave us a few comments. Tim, I'm going to pick a card out for you as well from the Cosmic Family Oracle cards. And that's so sweet. And Tim goes, you are so very on point. You resonate in so many different ways. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm really pleased. It is like a remembrance, isn't it? whenever you hear the influences around your birth chart. It's like a remembrance. There you go. So Cosmo Girl says, I bet Hayden's brothers are watching him right now, chuckling. Yes, I watched that one with the nurse that goes to the ship. Well, Dr. Gale, yeah. It's interesting because I actually got GPT to create an image of my Pleiadian brothers, and I popped it into the community on my YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out as well. I think it did a really good job. It made them look very handsome, though. It made me feel like the ugly twin, you know, or the ugly sister, or whatever they call it. Because they're like stunners, you know, they're like supermodels. And then there's like, you know, little me with my little glasses on. So good. I'm glad that it's connected with you, Tim. That's it. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it? I found that earlier on, you know, when I was being interviewed by Cara Goodwin, you know, it was almost like I felt like I just started. And then she said, oh, we've been going for over an hour. She goes, have you got time for any more questions? So like, well, yeah, you know, I thought we'd only been going for about 2 minutes. I must have been banging on a bit. Ugh. You know, when you sort of go, oh, I went right off on one at one point. I don't even know what I was talking about. So you got Bellatrix, the Orion warrior, that's come up for you, Tim. Now, Bellatrix is, you know, the warrior energy in Orion, and it's about abusing power or controlling with fear. So I don't feel like this is you, but I think with someone with an energetic template like you've got, maybe sometimes people will try and control you, you know, by sort of trying to install fear into you or abusing their power over you. Remember what I was saying about the 19 is where you may have abused your power in a past or previous incarnation. Well, this is kind of confirming that in a way. And it's almost like saying that, you know, you may then attract people that try and abuse their power with you. There's almost like a rebalancing of karma that takes place. Does that make sense? Or maybe earlier on in your life, you may have you found you were doing it yourself. A lot of the time, like you get bullied when you're a 10, a 19, 10, when you're younger, because it's like, this is what it feels like to be powerless. You know, it's that sort of stuff that can come up, which then makes you take action to stepping up into your power. So it does make sense. Good. So Cosmo Girl, the time in Australia is 11:18 in the morning. So it's really still morning time. Yeah, I've had quite a fun day today already, actually. I just got up this morning, walked the dogs. So I take them out separately. I take Monty out first, and then I take Bailey out because I can't handle them both at the same time because they pull me in 2 different directions. And then I came back and I did that podcast interview with Cara Goodwin, which was just really nice to be asked questions about me instead of it always being about me asking other people questions. You know what I mean? You know, because I very rarely get asked anything about me. You know, but that's starting to change. I'm not in the victim mentality there. And then doing this with you guys as well. So it's been a really fun day so far today, which I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, there you go. So oh, it's 11:18 p.m. is it? On Tuesday night in Florida. Well, we're going to have a look at doing your birth chart next, aren't we? There you go. Yeah, she was a chiropractor. She was actually working in the emergency room for neurosurgery as well. So she was in brain surgery. She does that on the spaceships now. She was a doctor. Yeah, that's why she's called Dr. Gale. Yeah, so her books are amazing. I thoroughly recommend Dr. Gale. So she wrote these 2 books, How I Met an Alien and How I Learned to Fly a Spaceship. And the books are so well written as well, simple to follow. You know, they really create this scene in your head about what she was up to on the spaceship. So I'd highly recommend those books as well, definitely. So yeah, so Tim, hopefully that's given you some food for thought. You know, if you loved that and you'd like to delve deeper down the rabbit hole, remember as well the Starseed Numerology report as well that I can create for you, and you can claim that on the special offer today for only 59 Australian dollars. which is about 40 US, by clicking the link in the description, and then you'll be taken through to the landing page to enter all your birth details. And you'll also get 3 months free access, guys, to my Oversoul Codex Collective, which is my community of starseeds all across the world. And we get together every month and we do activations, meditations, and often over significant cosmic events like the Lionsgate activation portal on the 8th of the 8th and the 11/11 as well, plus other stuff as well. There's lots of content in the portal as well, where you can start learning about numerology, color therapy, and cosmic consciousness as well. So you'll get that as an option on completion of purchasing your special offer on the full Starseed Numerology report by just ticking a box in the checkout, and then it will give you the access to that as well. Brilliant. Thank you, Tim. I'll look forward to exploring deeper with you as well. I certainly will. That sounds amazing. There you go. Thank you. The gratitude codes. You think I look lovely in orange tonight, do you? Yeah. Thank you. Well, it's funny because I looked through my t-shirts this morning and I was like, what color do I feel like I'm resonating with today? And, you know, I looked at all of them and then I saw orange and then I was like, I'm not sure. And then I went back to it and I was like, yeah, this is definitely the color of the day today. Yeah. So Jennifer says, do only starseeds see repeating numbers? No, it's everybody can see repeating numbers. It depends on your part of your awakening that you're on. Often, you know, your angelic team, your guides often put numbers in front of you, you know, until you become aware of them. So yeah, it just depends on where you're at in your awakening journey. You know, so it's not just specific for starseeds. No. There you go. There you go. So Nora, what do you mean? He must be an autumn. What do you mean? So I'm not sure. Oh, what, me? But because of the color orange. Sorry. There you go. So that's a good question. Thank you for asking about my dog. So Monty is a cockaleer. So he's a ruby cockaleer, and Bailey is the chocolate and brown colonial cocker spaniel. So he's a mix between an English and an American cocker spaniel. So he's a bit smaller than a big cocker spaniel, if you know what I mean. But they both went for their clips yesterday. So they both went and had clip at Beck at Lily & Co. And so, yeah, they don't really like going there. They get a bit nervous, but they come out smelling amazing and feeling great about themselves. So I'll keep taking them there. Definitely. Yeah. So there we go. So we're with Ashley next, aren't we? Ashley in Florida, another Floridan. I'm doing it now. Yeah. So Ashley's reading is next. So Ashley, I guess you're born on the 3rd of January. You've just confirmed that for me, or you might have done it in the proper format. According to Nora. Nora's asking for day, month. Yeah. And so am I. So Talia Hassi, is that where you're from? Is it? So it is, yeah. So the 3rd of January, 1978. Beautiful. Well, it's lovely to meet you, and you're very welcome here as part of our community. We all get together, you know, sort of once a week, sometimes twice a week, you know, on our YouTube live streams. And sometimes, like, I bring in like guests as well to do guest speaking as well, which is always somebody interesting, isn't it? Don't you think? Are you enjoying the live streams when I bring in other people as well? Do you like that? So you've got a day number 3, you've got a life path number 9, 10, 18, 19, 25, 28, all right, you're a 2911. So Ashley, I tend to attract 2911s. It's just one of those things. So the other day I was in a TikTok live and I was saying the same thing, and like, sure enough, 3 people in a row came in. All of them are 2911s. So it's quite interesting. You know, I just said I attract them and then there they were. But what it did mean is I had to go through the same thing with everybody, you know, because obviously it applies to everybody. So anyone who's a 2911 will have the same patterns repeating in their lives, you see. So if you're watching and you're a 2911, then watch and learn, because, you know, it will apply to you as well. So you got a 3, 4, 5. You're in a personal year 5-ish, yeah. Good. I'm glad. So you think it's great when I mix it up, the gratitude codes? Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's nice to have a bit of the, you know, fresh blood, fresh blood in the lives. So, okay, so can we see you're a 2911. So, you know, Ashley, I can say to you that you have signed up for the role of the Olympic spiritual athlete in this incarnation. So on your soul contract that you signed before you came to Earth, you sort of said, look, I want to evolve quickly. So throw it all at me. You know, I want to go through a divorce or separation from family, or even separation from country, you know, in the more extreme scenarios. So the 11s, you know, it is often your last look at issues of separation. So the 11 is duality in the color mirrors, this beautiful, very deep magenta over clear bottle there. So you can sort of see, can't you, from the look and feel of the vibration of this bottle, that your life is going to be extremes, good and bad, black and white, right and wrong. Now, it will make you a great guide for humanity as we evolve into the new golden age of Aquarius. So you could make a good life coach, spiritual teacher, or social worker, because you can only really ever take people as far as you've been yourself. You may have tapped into your clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience as you've evolved through your life as well. So 100%, yeah. So this is, you know, it's the extremes that come through. You can sort of see from the photograph in the apocalypse, you know, it's a very 11 name apocalypse, because it's like, you know, da, 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 and you're almost like black and white in your image on your photograph as well. Yeah. So, you know, people who aren't really serious about their soul evolution do not come in as a 29/11. It's just the way that it is, you know? So I would say that those issues around separation may have started for you during childhood. So it could have been like one of your parents crossed, or they separated, or there was sibling rivalry, or maybe you were bullied at school because you didn't fit in. You know, a lot of starseeds have this energy that we were talking about before. So, you know, people might come to you though for counseling because, you know, you're an empath, but you'll present back to them aspects of themselves that they really love or that they don't like. So you're a bit like Marmite. People are going to really love you, or they're not going to like you at all. So it's interesting, isn't it? I know it does. It's mind blowing, isn't it, when you look at it? So you can sort of see there that there is that. Now, on top of that, you're a performer because you're a day number 3. The 3 is very performative. So music, you know, a lot of 3s, their gift is music or writing or healing or poetry. So, you know, it's a very kind of theatrical energy that comes through with the 3. But I find that a lot of 3s are often deep down, they've got low self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, and lack of self-worth that you kind of need to work through in your life as well. So the 3 is Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system. So it wants expansion, and so do you. So, you know, it's like you really want to stand up in the world and claim your spot. But in order to do that, you might need to overcome issues of low self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, and lack of self-worth, you see, as well. So this is you, the empath and the creative, and, you know, you'll kind of learn and you'll evolve through these challenges around separation. But that's what's, you know, there you go. You're killing me, looking me. Now, you've got the arrow of activity in your birth chart as well, Ashley, the 7, 8, and 9. Now, this means that you've actually got a suppression of nervous energy. So it's like your central nervous system can be on steroids. So this can manifest as you always zipping around all over the place, doing lots and lots of different things with lots and lots of different people. And you kind of need to learn to slow down a bit. So surround yourself with people that are a little bit more zen than you are, because they will always kind of like serve as a reminder that it's okay for you to do the same thing. So it's like, Yeah, very on the go. Vivid imagination as well. You know, you can be very sociable as well when you're living positively, but you can also be somebody who needs a lot of space and time away from everyone to reconnect to yourself. And you may sometimes go through a bit of depression because that's where you get your material for your creative projects, by going into yourself, you know. Um, this year, you're in a personal year 5, which is a year of freedom, communication, and versatility. So perfect for booking a trip. So if you can afford to go overseas, then do that. And even if you can't, at least do a road trip. You know, it's like your soul is craving space and time away from it all. So set healthy boundaries and surround yourself only with people that will allow you to just express yourself freely and be you. There you go. Exactly, Cosmo Girl. Ashley, you have had a busy life. You have. And it's so you, is it? Yeah. I'll pick a card out for you. The gratitude codes, you want me to have a look at doing your daughter as well? Yeah, we can have a look at exploring your lovely daughter as well. I'm only just wetting your whistle today. Okay. So just to sort of demonstrate how powerful Pythagorean numerology is, Ashley. And, you know, if you really love that and you like to go a lot deeper, then remember the full Starseed Numerology report, which will go even more deeply. It's 22 pages of tailor-made information all about you. And you're in luck today because you've landed in my live. So you'll get that on the special offer price of only 59 Australian dollars, which is about 40 US. And that will actually unveil your galactic origins as well, which will help you to understand what your mission is. All right, all through the lens of your birth chart, your name chart, and the major influences in your astrology as well. All right, brilliant. There you go. Fantastic. Now, I'll just have a quick look at a card for you as well. Okay, and this is the card that comes up for you today. So these are the Cosmic Family Oracle cards, Ashley. So it's my own deck of cards that I created and launched about 6 months ago. So they do, like, they feature 7 different galactic races, archangels, and ascended masters. And the one that comes up for you is, I love this for you. It's Serapis Bay. He often comes up for 11s. You know, the 11s are like the oldest souls on the planet. But they often go through this conflict, you know, this duality that I was talking about before. So Serapis Bay is the ascended master who works on the white ray, the 4th white ray, and brings harmony into conflict. So often, you know, if you're finding that you're always up against opposition or conflict, you can call upon him and he'll step forward and resolve the conflict even without you having to do anything. So he's almost like presenting himself to you as being an option. Yeah, you know, somebody that you can work with. Maybe he is your principal ascended master already, Serapis Bay. He's a handsome brute as well, isn't he? I like it. That's funny. Ashley goes, that was intense. Consider my whistle wet. Oh, brilliant. And I look forward to creating it for you, my love. Yeah, there you go. And there you go. So Nora says, holy smoky, holy schmoly, when you showed us the cards, that one stuck out for you. Then you picked it. Oh, well, maybe you're tapping into your clairvoyance a little bit there. Maybe you are. I like it. I like it. So we are going to have a look next at the amazing gratitude codes. What's your daughter's name? The gratitude codes. Hello, Monty. He wants to come up and say hello. Do you want to say hello? Bailey, I can't pick you both up at the same time. Should we do you first? Okay, come on. Oh, so this is Bailey. All right. So Bailey Bum Bums, we call him. And he's had his clip yesterday. You can see he's like velvet today. He's all smooth. So he always likes to give daddy a bit of a kiss like that. He loves to give his daddy a bit of a kissy because he's a very affectionate little boy. And he's a life path 11 as well, believe it or not, Ashley. So he's a 2911 as his day number. And he's a life path 11. So he's a spiritual teacher, this guy. Yeah. So, you know, like how Dr. Gale yesterday was saying, talking about how white Alsatian was able to shapeshift into becoming one of the Sasquatch, you know, the Yeti, and it ends up flying on the spaceships with her. I was really blown away by that. I don't know about you. So I'm now wondering whether Monty and Bailey, you know, have got that potential as well of shapeshifting and being on with me on the spaceships. Have you been on the spaceships with Daddy? Have you? Have you been on the spaceships with me? He's like, don't be so silly, Daddy. I'm here as an Earth dog. I'm an Earth dog, Daddy. He's saying, I'm an Earth dog. There you go. So that card was Serapis Bay. Serapis Bay. Yeah. That I picked out. You're very welcome, Ashley. He won't tell her. He said, I'm not going to tell you whether I'm on the spaceships with you or not. Isn't that right, little fella? Isn't that right, my little baby boy? You little sausage. So, Karma D, that's a great name, isn't it? Karma D. Oh, am I boring you? Am I boring you somewhat? Is that what's occurring right here, right now? I'm just boring you somewhat. A cheeky little sausage, isn't he? Come on, I'm going to have to pop you down because we're going to have a look at Karma Lee next, or Karma D. Oh, he's a heavy boy. I need to put him on a diet, I think. I don't need any more coffee now. That's enough. Oh, you haven't listened to the recording from yesterday? Oh my God. Honestly, it was so interesting. She always amazes me with her information. She really does. She's like a sounding block for me, Dr. Gale, actually. We get together every month and record a session. She is a bit like a sounding block, you know, because she helps me to sort of, you know, sort of realize what's right and what's wrong, what's not real, what's real. Yeah. He is an angel, isn't he, Jennifer? Yeah, he is. Thank you, Christine. He is, isn't he? He's beautiful. You wait till you see Monty, Christine. Monty will come up and have a chat in a minute. Nora, that look of guilt in his eyes. I know, isn't it? He has got guilt in his eyes. There you go. So Cosmo Girl goes, that's right. You were talking about your dog shape-shifting. Man, I know my cats. They see things. One of them's connected to me. I definitely know she's here for me. That's it. I think we're starting to understand the bigger picture of our pets right now. I think we're starting to realize that they're not just pets. You know, these are multidimensional beings that have chosen to be with you at this time. And a lot of them are actually ascended masters themselves, incarnated in animal form. Yeah. So it's Karma Day. Oh, you say Karma Day, do you? Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. So there we go. So Karma Day. Born on the 14th of the 11th, 2011. Perfect. So a day number 5 and a life path number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So she is an 11 with a karmic number 14 as her day number. And then she's got a 3, sorry, 5, 6, 7, 8 life year, personal year. 1, 2, 3, 4, a 4. So interesting. You can see that the ones born after 2000 have often got very, very different charts to us lot born in the 1900s, haven't they? So they're like a new wave of people, new wave of beings. So often, you know, they're like the crystals, the rainbows. I was talking to Jill Jackson the other day, who's written the Children of the New Earth book. Watch that episode. It's amazing. She talks about the golden rays and the diamond rays and the blue rays as well as, you know, your traditional indigos, crystals and rainbows. Fascinating conversation. Really good. So what we can see there, you know, I feel like Karma D has come in as a guide. You know, again, she's empath, very sensitive, really intuitive, possibly clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. And again, you know, she wants freedom because she's got that day number 5. She may have restrictions around freedom in a previous life. So whether, you know, with the 14, the 14s have either restricted somebody else's freedom, or they've had their own freedom restricted, like they were imprisoned or incarcerated. So this life for her, she's going to need to feel free. I mean, both the 5 and the 11 are on the soul plane. So she's very emotional. She's got a driving intensity of feeling, and she feels everybody else's feelings as well. So, you know, it's so interesting to explore. Oh, it's been lovely meeting with you, Jennifer. It's been lovely to connect with you. And you've got to be up at 5. Oh my God, what do you do? Up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Oof. That's the time I get up normally, but 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, so it gets here, doesn't it? I know. There you go. It is lovely to connect with you today. There you go. That's why you need guidance. Well, yeah, because she's got the arrow of poor memory, which is the lack of the 3, 6, and 9. So, you know, this means that she's got she's got the arrow of poor memory. So she doesn't learn in traditional ways. So she's more of like a Steiner school kid. So she needs to do brain training and puzzles and games, anything that's going to get her brain matter working, because otherwise she might risk becoming quite forgetful later on down the track. So there's no numbers on the mind plane. Yeah. Also, she's got the arrow of passivity, the lack of the 7, 8, and 9. So this normally manifests as her being quite passive, you know, so she's going to need somebody quite strong. So you need to be like a strong mom for her. Somebody who's going to give her a bit of a push to get cracking on new projects, because she might delay them or she might not start them at all. Yeah. So she's, in a way, she's more of a behind the scenes guide into the new earth. So remember, she's a guide for humanity, but she'll be doing it from behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz. You know, guiding from behind the curtain sort of thing. So you know what I'm saying? So she's going to have a big need for freedom, communication. I feel like she, you know, she might struggle a little bit with communication. So I don't know, has she spent a period of being non-verbal or something, or does she really struggle to really talk about her emotions? Because she does have a driving intensity of feeling. Her 5 is a day number, which relates to Mercury, this beautiful emerald green bottle in the color mirrors. So this is Mercury. So yeah, she feels things super intensely. You know, green is all about balance and harmony. So for her, she's going to need a lot of balance in her life as well to feel in alignment. She's also got the arrow of the Enquirer, the lack of the 3, 5, and 7, which means that, you know, she's somebody who would be naturally quite a skeptic as well. So she needs evidence before she believes anything or anyone too. So she needs proof. So she's a bit like a Miss Marple in her life, like a detective gathering proof before she fully believes. Exactly, Christine. She sounds like a sweet and lovely dreamer. She is, yeah. But you see, again, as an 11, so she'll find that dualistic aspects of life coming up for her as well. So good and bad, black and white, right and wrong. She's a pure 11 as well. So she has got a very old soul, very old, one of the oldest souls on the planet. But she may experience like issues around separation as well as she moves through her life. She's quite practical as well, so quite grounded. She's quite traditional and conservative in her values. She'll still work really hard. So she does have her feet planted firmly on the ground. And then this year, she's in her personal year 8, which is a year of more independence for her. So, you know, it's a great year really for looking at, you know, how she can step more into her feeling more in control in her life and be more independent from you or everybody else. Because she does tend to sort of need somebody quite strong around her, as I said, but maybe she's branching off a little bit this year. Ah, there you go. There you go. She's finding her voice. Yeah. And specifically this year, you know, she might be asserting her authority a little bit more this year. And if you only knew the power struggles in my household, I can just imagine what that must be like. Exactly, Nora. Let's hope she sings instead of screams. Oh, bless. Oh, nighty night to you, Ashley. And obviously to everybody else who's been watching today's live. We've been going for an hour and a half now, so we've had fun, haven't we? Now, is there anybody else watching that would like me to do a reading for them before we end today's live? Then make sure you speak now or forever hold your peace. I'll pick a card out for Carmody as well. And this is the card that comes up for her, the Lyran Warrior. There you go. So this is about fight or flight. You know, you're talking about fighting and releasing patterns of victimhood. There we go. So that's interesting, isn't it? So, she's been playing the poor me card. She might be at the moment trying to, sort of move beyond that a little bit. Yeah. There you go. Oh, fantabulous. Well, there you go. Has everyone had fun today? Has everyone enjoyed themselves? And there you go. So you're born on, so Aaron. Okay, so we'll have a look at Aaron next up on today's live. Now, if you're watching me live, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow if you haven't already done so. I really appreciate that because I am obviously trying to grow my channel at the moment, as I'm sure you're aware. So yeah, if you've loved today's live as well, I do have the opportunity to be able to accept live chat gifts as well as a new feature that was just kind of launched a couple of months ago. So there is like an opportunity, if you have enjoyed today's live, for you to drop a small donation into the chat as well, because it just, again, it helps my channel to grow. And just anything like just a small donation is great because it signifies to YouTube as well that I've got a live stream that is worth listening to. So, it'll be analyzing it in the algorithm and it'll be going, okay, so Hayden's got content that people are enjoying. So, and it doesn't have to be much, but it does, it's just a like a gesture, I suppose, or like a little exchange, which would be really, really cool, if you do that, because it just, I don't know, it just helps. And also it helps me to feed those two hungry mouths that you keep seeing loitering around in the background. Monty wants his cuddle now. Do you want to cuddle now? Come on then. Now you've had yours, Bailey. It's Monty's turn. Oh, there he is. Oh, so this is the other one. All right, so this one is Monty. So he's the Ruby Cocklear. And you can see what a little cutie pie is. You see what a cutie he is? Isn't he lovely? Yeah. So he's a good boy. Now he's a life path number 8. So you can imagine he likes being in control. Very independent as well. And a day number 3. So he's very, very clever. Oh yeah, he understands every word I say, don't you? You're a clever lad. He's a very clever boy. He can be a little bit of a troublemaker. Yes, he can. Can't you, darling? You don't mean to. Mwah. He doesn't mean to, though. Thank you, Sisbian. I'm glad. Exactly. Explore more. If you'd like me to do Carmody's report as well, I'm more than happy to do one for her as well. So you can, know what to do. If you want to claim the special offer, then just click the link in the description and I can have a look at exploring all sorts more, like a birth chart, a name chart, and her galactic origins as well. Exactly. Yeah. There he goes. So there we go. So Aaron, okay, so he's a day number 5. So this means he's a freedom seeker as well, and he feels things very intensely. So remember the 5 being the center of the emotional plane. So he's a freedom seeker. And actually, for him, he'll find a lot of freedom through creativity because he's quite an intuitive soul as well. I do feel for him as well that he is very determined. He's got a 9, 10, 19, 25, 33, 34, 35 is an 8. So he's like Monty. Yeah. He likes to be in control. So, ideally for him, he'd like to travel on his own independently. He's got that sort of 5-8 combination, which both of those numbers are on the soul plane. So it means that he feels things very intensely. He can be very independent. He likes to be in control. He'd make a good manager, as well. So money manager, man manager, project manager. But he does have actually past lives where he may have been burnt at the stake, or been involved in the European persecutions. So sometimes he might feel like he's being persecuted. That's the combination that comes up with the violet and green. So sometimes he might be reluctant to sort of step into his magic, in case there's consequences. Yeah. But he's defensive. Yeah. That's exactly it. It can manifest a little bit like that, feeling like he's being persecuted, so he gets defensive. Yeah, but he's very strong. He likes doing things properly. Everything has to be organized. Everything has to be done properly. He's very methodical in the way that he goes about his projects, and he's a very wise old soul. He's very clever. He's got the arrow of intellect, the 3, 6, and 9. He's got a very active mind. So although he feels things very intensely, he's also got a very switched on mind. So it's very active. So he's always thinking, analyzing, rationalizing, philosophizing. His mind will go 10 to the dozen. So his long-term memory might be a lot better than his short-term memory. So he'll remember like all the names of the people that he went to primary school with, but he won't remember what he had for his tea last night. But I like him. I think he's awesome. So hello, Gabriella. Should we have a look at doing you next? It's interesting because, we've got there Aaron, who's born on the 23rd as well, and you're born on the 23rd yourself. So, the 23, if you look at that as a compound number, it does reduce to the 5, but the 2 is the empath, the 3 is the creative. So often I find that day number 5 people derive from number 23. They find their sense of freedom through intuitive, creative projects. Yeah, so it's fascinating to explore, actually. And shall we have a look at exploring? Let's have a look at exploring Gabriella, Monty. So I'm going to I'll pop you down. I'll pop the little monkey down, and we can have a proper look at yours if you like. Would you like that? Cool. Come on then, Monty. Off you go. Careful. Oh dear. There you go. Oh dear. Come on, don't get jealous, Bailey. Come on. You've had your cuddle. You've had yours. Honestly, what they're like. Cheeky little monkeys. There you go. So Gabriella, born on the 23rd of August. Boys, stop causing trouble. They're so cheeky. So you've got a day number 5. You've got a life path number 9, 10, 16, 19, 21. You're a 29, 11. What was I saying earlier on, guys, about me attracting 29 11s? There you go. And then Gabriella appears. So you've got an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is a 5. So you've got the 8, the 9, the 6, the 3, the 2, and the 1 as well. All right. There you go. I think they're hungry. I think they want something else to eat, as if they don't get enough already. Very interesting chart to look at then, Gabriella. So yeah, again, you're a 2911. So the second 2911 that we have in the chat, the other one was Apocalypse. She was also 2911 as well. And it is, the path of the Olympic spiritual athlete. That's why I always call it, because it's like you've signed up for quite a difficult incarnation this time round, because you wanted to have a swift evolution of soul. So on your soul contract that you signed before you came to Earth, you were like, look, I want to evolve quickly, throw it all at me. I want to go through a divorce or separation from family, because you wanted to evolve quickly, you see. So there is this 2911 energy, which means that you'd make a good life coach, spiritual teacher, or social worker, because, you can only really ever take other people as far as you're being yourself. You may be clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. So there is this beautiful energy about you that's, as a mirror almost, like on other people.
So people will come to you naturally, you know, for counseling because you're an empath, but you'll reflect back to them aspects of yourself, of themselves rather, that they're either going to love or not like. So I always say to 11s in general that they're a bit like Marmite. They're, you know, they're either going to be loved or the opposite. So the 11 is duality, you see. So this is the, you know, it's a master number vibration, the 11. So, you know, you're an old soul, one of the oldest souls on the planet, and you've come in as a guide for other people as we merge into the new earth energies, you see. So but your life is never going to just be boring and plain sailing and grey. It's going to be either really, really good, Gabriella, or it's going to be like naff, you know, it'll be like up and down. So yeah, so hugely empathic, but at the same time, you know, as we just saw with Aaron, you know, you've got the arrow of intellect, the 3, 6, and 9 as well. So this means that, you know, all the numbers on the mind plane, you've got a very active mind, very stimulated. So you're always thinking, analyzing, rationalizing, philosophizing. Your mind, you know, will go 10 to the dozen. So your long-term memory, again, might be a lot better than your short-term memory too. So you'll remember things from years ago, but you don't remember what you did yesterday. So that's the arrow of intellect. The arrow of the planner is the 1, 2, and 3. These are other gifts that you've got, Gabriella. You know, so this is about an inherent love of order. So you like to have a bit of a tick list as you go through your day, you know, so you feel like you're achieving everything that you want to achieve. So this inherent love of order. So it's quite a left brain arrow in a way. And then you've got this arrow of intellect as well. So you're actually very well balanced in so many different ways for your personality blueprint, because the 5 is your day number, which is on the soul plane. It's the heart energy. So it's like, that's that driving intensity of feeling that you have and a big need for freedom. So you don't like being restricted. The 11 is also on the soul plane. That's the empath and the psychic. And then you've got, you know, this kind of like very active mind as well. I would say that possibly you may need a bit of grounding because you don't have much influence on the physical plane. The 1, 4, and 7 are physical numbers. You've only got 1, 1. So I do feel like you may sometimes struggle a little bit to express that driving intensity of feeling and all those thoughts that are going on in your mind. Sometimes it might be quite hard for you to put all that into words. Yeah, so, you know, you're very independent. You know, in relationships, you've got to make sure that both parties are standing in their own light and power. I'd also say that you're probably somebody who's very good at, you know, emulating or mimicking other people. So for you, it's also very important to surround yourself with only really people that are at the top of their game, because they will become, or you will become like them. Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. Oh, you're still there? I thought you'd gone, Ashley. Well, you've come back, have you? You're not been able to sleep. There you go. I don't know actually when I'm going to be doing my next live. I just sort of do it intuitively when I feel like doing it. Because if I try and like schedule things too much, that is, I you know, sometimes I'm not in the flow. So I just have to look at when I'm feeling good and when I've got something to give, and then I'll kind of go live then. So yeah, just keep looking. So yeah, you're in your personal year 5 this year, Gabriella, which is a year of freedom, ideally, you know. So this is the year where your soul is kind of craving space and time away from it all. So book a trip, you know, if you can afford to go overseas and explore and go to a different culture, have an adventure, then do that. And even if you don't, then at least do a road trip. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because in your 5, it's like you just need to get away from it all and set healthy boundaries as well. Yeah. So there you go. So let's have a look. And Gabriella, the card that comes up for you is, oh wow, Muffrid. Interesting card choice for you as well, Gabriella, because it is Muffrid, the Arcturian philosopher. Can you see that there? So you can see what it says on the card. It's about releasing all judgment. So often I do find that one of the struggles with the 11s, because it is about duality, and duality is what keeps us in separation. It's judgments. Judgments keep us in separation, either judgments on ourselves or judgments on the world around us. So in order for us to attain the unity consciousness, obviously we have to release all the judgments, which is harder than you think. You know, it really is. I mean, I still struggle with it, you know, but I think we have to become more aware of those judgments that we're making, and that'll help you to work through that sort of the issues of separation that 11s often experience in their incarnations, especially when you're 29 11s, you know. So yeah, hopefully that has given you some food for thought. Gabriella, if you loved that and you'd like to delve deeper down the rabbit hole, what I specialize in is creating what's called a Starseed Numerology report that you can see there, 22 pages of tailor-made information all about you, which explores all aspects of your birth chart and your name chart, the major influences in your astrology as well, like your sun, your moon, your north node, and your ascendant. And they reveal your galactic origins. So whether you're from the Pleiades or Andromeda like me, or Arcturus, or Lyra, or Sirius, or Antares, or Alpha Draconia, or one of a plethora of other constellations and galaxies out there. That helps you to define your mission. It also will explore any karmic lessons, past life implications, your true soul purpose, strengths and weaknesses, plus the best times for you to embark on new projects and ventures through your pyramids. So if you'd like the full report, they're actually on special offer today for anybody watching me live for only 59 Australian dollars, which is about 40 US. And to claim that, just click the link in the description and that'll take you through to order that nice and securely through the online shop. And then just send me your birth details through the landing page and give me 3 to 5 business days to create it for you, because as I said, they are handcrafted, not computer generated. There you go. Interesting. So your therapist says I'm part or mostly Arcturian. Interesting. How interesting. There you go. And your son's born on the 18th, and that's Skylar. Well, that's a nice name, isn't it? Well, he may have been, because he's an 18-9 as a day number, so he's here to be of service, but he may become a teacher or a nurse because he wants a regular paycheck at the end of the month, you know. So as he evolves, there is a bit of spiritual and material conflict that comes up with the number 18. So often it's indicative of, in a past life, he may have been a nun or a monk, and he may have signed vows of poverty, you know. So in this incarnation, he may be a bit, you know, sort of reluctant to become a healer, because he might worry about how he can make enough money doing that, and still survive. Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome, Gabriella. It's lovely to have you here with me today as well. And hello to Quest Finder. Good evening to you. How are you today? Nice to have you with me as well. There you go. So you were told 3 mediums independently that you're from Sirius B. Wouldn't it be great to get that confirmed? You see, the way I do it is I explore your galactic origins based around the position of your sun in your astrological natal chart. But I use ancient Hopi techniques, because the Hopi, the Native American Indians, have an intimate relationship with the Galactic Federation of Planets, and they taught them how to map the soul's journey as it descends on the earth through the higher dimensions of consciousness. And of course, it's based around actually the position of your sun in your natal chart and where it's conjunct or opposite. So for example, my sun is 23 degrees in Libra when it was opposite the Andromeda constellation. So my soul has incarnated from a little planet around the star Mirage in the Andromeda constellation, which helps me to understand that my mission is to help people rediscover their inner wisdom, step into their sovereignty, reconnect with the multidimensionality, and reunite with their cosmic families. Other galactic races have very different missions, you know. So if you're Pleiadian, it's completely different. Arcturian is different, Lyran, Sirian. So the reports I create go deeply into that, using these ancient Hopi techniques to map the soul's journey, you know. So there is a bit of an equation to getting it, you know, sort of confirmed or denied, but worth exploring nevertheless. And then you've got to be able to integrate and anchor all of that information once you've got it and put it into practical use. Yeah, there you go. There you go. It has been nearly 2 hours, hasn't it? Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a big day, hasn't it, today? We've all thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, though, haven't we? I hope everybody's had fun. And exactly, yes, I'll always be here another day. We've been going for almost 2 hours today. Can you Adam and Steve it? Now, guys, if you love what you've seen today as well, and you'd like to do a private session with me, then this is another way that you can engage with me on a one-to-one level. I actually do 90-minute sessions where I use the color mirrors that you can see behind me, and as well as your numerology, your astrology, and your human design. And I tailor make a specific healing process to take you through, which includes like an activation and Socratic questions, which really go deeply into exploring like who you are, where you're from, and what you're here to do, and help you get back into alignment. A lot of the time, you know, we're living out of alignment, and that's when we find resistance come up in our life. We might feel in contraction as opposed to expansion. So the 90-minute one-on-one Zoom sessions are designed to help you gain clarity on what's currently unfolding in your life, both emotionally, energetically, and spiritually, and what your next aligned step truly is. So as I mentioned, I use the beautiful color mirrors, and I get you to select bottles from the color mirrors in response to certain questions that I'm asking you, like, you know, which bottle represents where you're at in your life right now, which bottle represents where you want to be, which bottle represents your best action step or action steps to take in order to get there, what's your highest potential, and also what are your strengths and weaknesses. And then I kind of read the bottles for you as a collective and individually, so I can understand what's going on for you both consciously and subconsciously. I'll also then explore your human design and weave that information through. So whether you're a generator, a projector, or a manifesting generator, or, you know, but also, you know, it'll look at what, you know, if you're a 4-6 like I am, or a 2-3, or whatever type you are, and what sort of emotional response that you've got. So I tailor make a specific session for you based around, you know, your numerology, your astrology, your human design, and using the intuitive tools of the color mirrors and the Oversoul Codex Oracle cards as well, which is another deck of cards that I've created, which features, you know, lots of different Oversoul archetypes, planes of consciousness, soul activation keys, and color rays as well. So you choose from the cards, use the mirrors. These are all intuitive tools that I can go deeply into really what it is that's keeping you out of alignment. And you leave with greater clarity, insight into your current life phase, and practical alignment and guidance into your next steps as well. So, you know, if you love exploring the path of your soul and you want to go deeper into that, then that is something that I highly recommend. And, you know, if you want to learn more about the Oversoul Codex realignment sessions, then you can head over to my website to explore those in more detail. And of course, my website is dreamtime-academy.com, and you can book those sessions online through there as well. So there you go. That's the my website. You can find out about the Oversoul Codex realignment sessions on there. You needed to hear this again as well, yeah? And the universe is always trying to guide us, absolutely, through synchronicities and interesting coincidences. You're absolutely right. That's so true. The gratitude codes, you're an 18 too, are you? So you've got that spiritual material conflict as well. Fabulous. Oh, lovely. I'll look forward to doing that with you, Ashley. Yeah, that's going to be amazing, isn't it? I think you'll love it. And Quest Finder says, someone today asked me if I was an Aussie, really, and saw several things about Australia today. Guides were telling me to not go to sleep yet. And now I understand why. Well, there you go. You're here with me today. We'll make sure, you know, that you come into one of my lives again. So make sure you subscribe, click the bell for future notifications so that you won't miss it when I do go live. I always give about an hour's notice in my community, you know, on YouTube, to be able to notify people when I'm going live. So it'll give you a chance to prepare. So, you know, if you click the bell, you'll get notified when I'm going to go live, often, you know, just an hour before. And can your readings explain how I survived 10 heart attacks so far? Interesting. Wow, that's a lot of heart attacks that you've survived. I'm interested to go deeper with you, actually. So I feel like I want to I want to explore your birth chart. Is everyone up for that? I feel like I'm feeling guided to stay with you right now and just to explore a bit deeper. Does everyone feel like that's a good idea? I feel like it does, because I think you've got a very unique story. So you've survived 10. Did they all happen, you know, sort of in separate times, or did they happen like you had 3 on one day and then another day you had another 3? How did all that unfold for you? There you go. I am a beast. That's it. I'm on a quest. That's it. There you go. Exactly. That's a very good point. Ashley says, maybe you haven't fulfilled your purpose yet. It's so true. Often we find, you know, with the near-death experiences, people come back, you know, they're told by Jesus they have to go back to the earth plane because they've not fulfilled the purpose. So that's very likely to be the case. You know, you've still got a mission to complete that maybe, you know, you're unaware of at the moment. You know, there's all this sort of stuff that can come up. Yeah. So, yeah. Did you want to drop your date of birth in the chat, or are you quite happy to wait until next time round? Their quest finder, do leave us a comment and let me know. There you go. There you go. And you're pretty sure that's why you're not dead yet as well. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Ashley. You know, you've had a difficult paper round, haven't you? You have. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. So 1 at the age of 33 and 2 to 6 were between ages 35 and 37. The 7th was a second widowmaker at 38, 8, 9, and 10. Wow. There you go. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot. Yeah. Oh, and your veins were failing from heart surgery. So did you have a near-death experience then when you went through this? Did you ever leave your body, go to heaven, have a conversation with Jesus, or did you always kind of remain in the physical body? I'd be interested to find out, actually. So you're in Illinois. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. It's funny because I actually work quite closely with a guy who's had open heart surgery and I've recovered from cancer as well. So he's had a difficult mission, and I found a lot of the time, like he was kept around because he had a very big purpose in store for helping other people with cancer. So often that can, you know, take place. Yeah. Oh, so during the 7th one. So what happened then? Do you want to tell us more about it? It was scary. Like, how specifically was it scary? What happened for you? So you were born on the 27th of the 8th, 1982. Because a lot of people describe their near-death experiences as being really pleasant, like really, you know, like a peaceful experience. And, you know, you're guided towards the light and you went into a garden and all the grass looked alive and all the beautiful flowers, and you met Jesus and all of this sort of stuff. So, you know, it's interesting to see. So you've got a day number 9, you've got a life path number 9, 10, 18, 19, 28, 29, 37 is a 10. Aha. And then you are a 8, 9, 10, 11, 18 is a 9. So you got the 8, 2 8s, a 9, a double 2, and a 7 and a 1 as well. Interesting. Okay. I think I've got all your numbers there. Let's have a little look. Okay. Okay. So according to my own historical research, 2 of my past lives, I died at 33. Well, that was interesting because the number 33 is a master number, and it was actually the age that Jesus became Christ. Like Jesus. Yeah, like Jesus. That's right. So yeah, so Ashley's asking, did you get the choice to come back or not? And so I went to my tree temple and met several relatives. Oh, how lovely. And had a powwow-like ceremony during my surgery using a Jose Silva method right before surgery. This all sounds so interesting. Fascinating. So what's your real name, my friend? So you're a day number 9 derived from number 27. I'm a 27 9 as a life path number, so I understand the 27 really well. So that's the reason why I'm fumbling with my necklace there is because that's number 27 that I have around my neck. It's gold and orange, so it's called Harvest. harvest in the color mirrors. So it kind of reminds you, you've got to have courage to do your healing work. Yeah. So it's almost like that aspect of you that is make a good counselor. So you could have your own business actually, you know, as a counselor, because you're an empath and a philosopher. The 2 is the empath, and then the 7 is the philosopher. So, you know, as a 9, the 9s are the wise old souls that have come to earth to be to help people. So possibly that's why he's still around, because maybe you haven't fulfilled, you know, that mission as helping people, right, in your life. So yeah, the 9 is actually relates to this bottle here in the color mirrors called Mars. So it's the planet Mars. So it's the fire elemental. So, you know, this is often about making sure that you learn to speak up about how you feel. Sometimes that might be quite difficult for you to really talk about your feelings or speak up about how you feel. So you might need to learn to be wisely assertive. Yeah. But you're a 10, you see, as a life path. So this is the way shower, the leader archetype. So you're all about sovereignty. So it's about you need to step up into the role of the way shower, the leader, into your sovereign power. And it's all almost about beginnings and endings. Like you've got very similar numerology to me in the fact that I've got, you know, like my my complete name number is a 1 as well. So it's like you're a protagonist, a leader, you know, but you're also the 9, which is the opposite of the 1, which is the end of a cycle and the beginning. So it's like the alpha omega stuff. So a lot of the 1-9 people have endings and beginnings. It's like a rebirth energy that's cyclic. Yeah. So this is possibly why this type of thing has happened for you in your life. There you go. So you're Angela Marie. Oh, it's a pretty name, isn't it? It's a pretty name. The angelic messenger. That's right, the messenger energy. So I don't get a choice on coming back. Yeah, my 7th, my husband held my soul cord and told death, you can't have her. Ah, how amazing. I love hearing that. That's mind-blowing, isn't it? Exactly, Ashley. He has some power. Yeah. Yeah. Good stay. She does have an interesting story, Angela Marie, you do. So there you go. So you tried, you excelled at it. Now it does nothing. I'm a disabled homemaker. Oh, right. Okay. So it's interesting, isn't it? So it's interesting because you've got the arrow of activity, the 7, 8, and 9 in your birth chart, which means that, you know, you maybe at one point we're always on the go, you know, like, so it's like a suppression of nervous energy. So always zipping around all over a place, doing lots and lots of different things, lots and lots of different people. So you probably needed to have learned to slow down a bit. So often, you know, if you become disabled, it's because there's a lesson there. Okay, so how can you bring it back? Yeah. 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 And you're an indigo. Yeah, I'm an indigo. I'm a beta generation indigo. So I was born in 1972. Yeah. Oh, I love that. So you married a Polish American family from Cheetown, Illinois. And we live in the Gold Coast of Australia. That's beautiful, isn't it? So you've been dormant for 9 years, driving me insane, not doing anything. Well, you see, you can still be a leader. You see, for you, you know, you've got past life connections in as a Roman soldier, believe it or not. Whenever I see the gold and the red energies coming in together, this is like very Roman soldier. So it can sometimes bring up power struggles, you know. So the 1 and the 10 is about dominance. All right. So there is this aspect that maybe comes up with that. You may be feeling quite restless in your life. You know, when you've got the 2 8s, you're fiercely independent. So you might be feeling restless in your life now, especially if you didn't get the chance to travel when you were younger. You've got the arrow of frustration in your birth chart as well, Angela Marie, which means that, you know, there may have been some difficulties or challenges for you during childhood. So your parents may have separated, or you could have been bullied, or there was sibling rivalry. So you would have come out with some challenges during the earlier years. You're highly empathic as well. So having the 2 2s amplifies your empathy, your sensitivity. And so you're probably like animals, children, you know, you might feel other people's feelings and feel like they're your own as well. There you go. So Roman is your guide's name. I love hearing that. Yeah, that would make sense for me. So you've almost got that warrior Roman-esque energy around you then that's probably helping you, you know, to keep going with things. That's what it feels like, doesn't it? And she's been with you since childhood. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. And you can read people's energy. Yeah, I absolutely can feel that from you. Lots of things coming to an end for you this year. You're in a personal year 9. So this could be old relationships or, you know, things that no longer serve you. And actually next year, you're moving into a 1, the beginning of a new chapter. So again, it could be like a rebirth because it's the 9 going from the 1. And you're right at that nexus point again. So you may find there's a bit of a rebirth taking place for you, Angela Marie. So I do feel like you could make such an amazing counselor for other people. So I feel like if you are feeling a bit stagnant in your life, why don't you, you start counseling people online where you don't have to necessarily leave the house? You know, how can you step up into the role of the healer and the counselor and the way shower and help people, you know, that maybe have been through similar to you, and you can be almost like the way shower, showing them that they can do this themselves as well. So you did that for a while, did you? So maybe you just feeling, are you feeling just a bit blocked at the moment then? Yeah. And your medium abilities disappeared, did they, for a while? Yeah. And they've been blocked since your heart attack. Okay. Yeah. It can be, you know, it can be quite hard, isn't it, to reopen those once they've been shut down for a while. I mean, all I can suggest, if you're feeling out of alignment, is maybe book an Oversoul realignment session, and I can help you sort of look at what it is that's blocking that. So they are, you know, they're such a great way of being able to really look at what's going on beneath the surface. It's, you know, it's a very intuitive process that I'll guide you through using Socratic questions, which really appeal to your left brain. So they can help you get out your own way and find out what it is that's actually keeping you feeling like almost stuck in your red energy. And, you know, I can help you through that. So feel free to, you know, to sort of reach out through my website, as I mentioned before, at dreamtimeacademy.com, as I'll pop it in the chat for you again. So there you go. You can see that there, dreamtimeacademy.com, Angela Marie. If you feel like you'd like to go deeper into your report, then I'm more than happy to create one of those for you as well, the Starseed Numerology Report. There you go. They're on special offer today for only 59 Australian dollars. And then just remember to send me your birth details through the landing page. Okay. So, all right, you think heart chakra your heart surgery locked your chakra, and some are partially open, but I can't open the root. Okay. It's through lots of trauma. Yeah. So this would be, for me, lots of red, orange sort of energy that's needed right now. To help unlock that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can, you know, things can get blocked after a heart attack. They can become quite sluggish or dull colored, and they can become quite small. And then we, you know, to reactivate those, we can often do that through Reiki, through light language, through conscious breath work, etc. So there's all sorts of ways in which that you can sort of really look at reactivating that type of stuff. Yeah, so it just sounds like you kind of need a little bit of guidance with that right now, from what I'm sensing. All right, guys. Well, look, I'm going to love you and leave you. Again, it's been fabulous to just be with you guys today. You know, I always love it. It's always a joy and a pleasure. And yeah, feel free to watch the video again. You know, to watch the repeat of the reading that I gave for you. And, you know, if you feel drawn to go deeper, then just click the link in the description to get your report, or book your session, and then we can go and explore that together as well. There you go. You've been trying to open 90% blockage in visualizing it and dealing with, yeah, okay. There you go. Oh, that's so sweet. You're going to nominate me for the Spiritual Leaders Award in 2026. That's so sweet. Thank you for that. That's so nice. Thanks again, Angela Marie. It's lovely being here with each and every single one of you. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye for now.